Today's March 2nd, 2017. What's up, John?
Well, a lot. Snapchat for one, I guess, Andrew.
Oh, God. Another IPO. We're watching it. I love that when it came out. Did you do a trade in this thing?
Yeah, I'm trading it. I got in a little on the IPO, not nearly what I asked for, but here's some of the stats. Here's the reasons you don't want to hold it long term.
Oh, no.
One, they have 158 million users. Two, they have Facebook has the same number of users, and they've just started their service to go eat Snapchat's lunch. So what does that tell you? Didn't take them very long. When you look at Instagram, they've already been going after Snapchat in a big way because, of course, he tried to buy them. They refused. And so now Zuckerberg's just going to crush them like a bug. That's long term. That's not on the IPO. That's long term. On the IPO, they brought out 200 million shares. They're at 17 a share. So that's 3.4 billion. That's only 1/6 of the total shares. So only a sixth of the total shares are out there. There won't be any RO, meaning you cannot legally short the stock for 3 days. That doesn't always happen, but they requested that there not be any lend until stock settles. And stock settlement, unless it's a cash purchase, is T+3.
Is that normal? Is that normal? I mean,
no.
I heard you say that on...
No, everything about this thing is abnormal. Everything about Snapchat's abnormal. It's an abnormal valuation. It's abnormal that you have no voting rights at all. And it's abnormal that you can't short it at all for at least until settlement. And even then, people tell me that you're going to have to pay like $80 to $90 per 1,000 shares to short it.
All right, and I heard you say that. I heard you say this on air now, and of course, I did one of my famous fake trades. That's when I have just enough commitment not to do it. By the way, I'm almost up $1 on it. I know, John. I could do 1,000 shares of this thing, but I just don't want to get. I don't want to get a colonic like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
I might do it, but you said it could squeeze. I mean, if I was going to do it. I mean, if I switch this over to a real trade, I'm only going to stay $1 or $2. So what are you thinking? 30 by the end of the day?
Yeah,
but
I might.
Bold call.
I might. If we're up 10, in other words, I'm in at 17. That's where it IPO'd. First traded price was 24. So if it gets 27, I'll probably sell it, even though I think it will cross 30.
Oh yeah,
it's just it's ludicrous. It's at ludicrous speed, like you said already. Well, that's abnormal. Yeah, everything about this thing's abnormal, and it's not a long-term hold.
I might feel a little bit better if my gold was doing better today. Which, by the way, I bought a little bit more of my nugget. Took in a few shares.
That damn thing is just getting taken apart today.
It's all right.
Could be a washout in there. I said that on the halftime too. We could be
gold?
seeing a washout in that damn thing in gold.
In gold.
Because I see enough volume and trading in there that it looks like, somebody's being liquidated.
Yeah, and I just saw a post, and this was a good one, that Bitcoin is now worth more than gold. I don't know how they determine the two, whatever, which I thought was a good sign for gold. Because anytime you start comparing things to fake, stuff, I'm not saying Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is fake, really. I mean, people buy and
it is,
but
anytime you have
and I thought,
this is all on the.
I thought about it like if I was going to go to India for the weekend, let's say, and I wanted to marry an Indian woman, and I decided I want to marry your daughter, and they'll be like, yes. Do you have a dowry of gold? And I'll be like, no, I've got Bitcoin. What do you think they would do to me? They'd kick me out. I wouldn't.
If it was in a city over there, they might take it. If it's in a big city, if they're in the country, there's absolutely no way they take Bitcoin.
I wouldn't.
They'd go for the gold.
I wouldn't even get a piece of naan bread. I wouldn't get any goat curry. I'd get the one way. They say, you must leave our village. I'm like, I got Bitcoin. I want to marry your daughter. I'm American. No. All right. So I'm thinking gold's still good for something, right?
Coffee's mixing cultural references right and left here.
I know. Speaking of cultural references, if Obama was still the president, I'd be mad at Caterpillar right now. I'd be mad at something because I think a lot of Trump supporters are long Caterpillar. What do you think?
They could be. It's odd. I mean, so what happened, folks, is at approximately noon Eastern time, the Caterpillar headquarters in Peoria, Illinois, were raided by agents of the IRS, FDIC, and I think Commerce Department or something weird like that.
It was a three whammy. I'd love to see the video of that.
Yeah.
Like 24.
And Caterpillar's cooperating, but they're there obviously for books and records and hard drives or whatever. No explanation as to why and what they want. But given those agencies, somebody has either alleged some sort of a movement of
there was three
cash.
agencies. I didn't realize 3 agencies had broken down the door. Wow.
Could be, some movement of cash. It could be improper accounting. It could be tax evasion. So many different things with all 3 of these groups in there. And, we'll see. And it could be just one of the executives, much like when agents would descend upon the likes of Tyco for Kozlowski or whatever. Right. I mean, it doesn't mean it's Enron. But obviously, that's one of the fears is that, well, what if there's, fraud or malfeasance or blah, 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 cooking the books.
Caterpillar's
I don't think so.
Like a real company with stuff. Man, they make stuff.
Yep. I don't think it's any of those bad things, but those are the fears that go through people's minds. That's why puts traded 2-to-1 versus calls, and we highlighted it on the halftime, and I put up a quick snapshot of the heat seeker with all the put activity.
A snapshot. No pun. Get it?
Snapshot, not Snapchat.
A Snapchat of cat. All right. Right now, cat's down, I don't know, $4.50, 94. I don't think it's time yet, no? I don't want to mess with this.
Yeah, they need to get a statement out there from the lawyers. The longer it takes, the longer it's going to stay under pressure, because people, fear is greater motivator than greed.
All right. Let's circle back with Snap here for a minute. See if you remember this. Do you remember when Snapchat came out? When at first people were like, why do you have Snapchat? And it's like, so you can send naked pictures to people and they disappear right away. Do you remember that?
Yep.
That was
I do remember
back in the day. And then it almost felt like if you had Snapchat on your phone and your wife or girlfriend saw it, it's like, what the hell you got Snapchat on your phone for? Right? Do you remember that? Like, why do you have that on your phone?
I remember that, but I was never a user of it.
I had a Snapchat account.
Today, I'm not a user of it.
Well, I did, and I had this one girl that would send me pictures, but it wasn't like a bad thing. And I just followed one person just to have it. And then all of a sudden, it's turned into a how many billion-dollar company? And it's not about naked pictures anymore.
Well, it went from $22 to $30 billion just on the jump since the IPO. Obviously, the shares don't trade at the IPO; they just issue them at that price.
But you remember that. You remember that, though. Everybody was saying, oh, the kids are using Snapchat now because they don't want pictures to go. They want them to go into the Ethernet once they get done taking them. How things have changed. That whole mission statement. Crazy. All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I don't like it as a business. I think it's got exactly the same problems that Twitter has. And Zuckerberg actually has ways to get paid with his so I don't know why. And by the way, Andrew, did you know that you have no idea how many followers anyone has on Snapchat? Did you know
that? I guess I don't know. Now that I might log into Snapchat today just to see. Now I follow like 4 girls. One's like an ex-Playboy bunny, and she just posts pictures of herself. Not naked, though. And there's just like some other stuff, and then occasionally you'll see somebody put rabbit ears on theirs. They're all girls that I follow. I mean, they're all the same. It's just crazy.
So, yeah, it's not a business model that I believe in.
But I'll go check it out later.
Yeah. It's like Twitter and it's like Fitbit. These are things that people like that don't make money and don't make sense as stocks. So we'll have to see. Certainly not as investments.
Well, let's leave it there. My fake trade's doing okay. I don't need to ruin my day with this Snapchat. I don't know. I might get a little jiggy here. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, remember, folks, whether it's Snapchat, SNAP, or Caterpillar, CAT, you can always get what's happening on Investitute. That's the site Andrew and I are posting on most of the time. And we are on iTunes as well as YouTube. You can subscribe. You can give us some love. Click on the like or the hearts or whatever you like. And make sure you tell a friend about it.